Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Trouble and today I'm going to be doing a review of Kengan Omega Chapter 2, 82. Uh, and this chapter is, what can I say about this chapter? This chapter is good, good. I don't say, I don't know how to describe this chapter. This chapter is, like, to be honest, I'm just sort of, I don't know, it's a good chapter. Let's just jump in the description. I'll go over the chapter, and then you guys can tell me. So the chapter opens up exactly where we left off in 281, where with Kon or Agato landing that throwing that strike at Kowloon, right? And Kowloon dodges it, right? And so the chapter opens up with a description of weight difference and how, weight translates, it can translate into a different amount of strength, which means that one opponent can have an advantage over the other due to their weight, but not in this circumstances. And like I said in the last review, Kalong would probably dodge it, and he did, right? And the two get into a quick exchange, and Kalong Agato is going in on Kalong. He's going in on Kalong. But the problem is that Kalong keeps hitting him. His strikes keep landing. And this is this, like I said, this is the meat of the chapter. The chapter basically centers around Agato's strategy is trying to grapple Galong. He's trying to close in with Galong, but he can't. Galong, he's not letting him, right? Everything he does, Galong counters. And the only reason why Galong strikes aren't landing is because Agato continuously uses formless to, like, divert the blow. So Agato goes in, Galong strikes him. Agato uses formless to escape, to divert the blow, and he comes in from a different angle. Galong strikes him again. Agato uses formless to divert the blow, and that's the chapter. That's essentially what the chapter is. And it's pretty it's pretty interesting. It's pretty fun to read. But that's essentially what the chapter is. The chapter is effectively um, Agito trying to get past Galong's strikes. That's what it is, right? And he's having a hard time doing it, right? Anyway, so that exchange, it just keeps on going. And Agito gives us a description of Kalong, that Kalong's fighting style. It's no longer boxing and it's no longer Muay Thai. It's more Kalong's style, all-rounder striking technique, right? And Kazi's there. He's like, I can't even tell who's stronger. I can't even tell who's stronger. Agato goes in for a grapple again. Galon gives him a knee to the face. He gives him a knee to his face, and then again, once again, I've already described this to you. Kono uses formless to divert the blow. He comes in from a different angle. Galon gives him an elbow, and then he uses formless again. He comes in for a grappling on him again. Gallum does a kick. Gallum does his a Muay Thai kick, and he uses formless again. He uses formless again to avert it. He uses formless again to divert it, and then Gallum comes in with a perfect strike. He comes in with a strike, and once again, he uses formless to divert the blow. Right, and we get a little bit of commentary. We get a little bit of commentary from Kazi. Where Kazi's basically like he can't tell who is stronger. He can't even tell which of them has the upper hand, if any of them have the upper hand on each other, right? And then we get Kona's perspective of it, right? Where he's like, you know, his strikes are even more powerful. Like Kalong has become even way more powerful than last time, And then we get the narrator explains that, that fist that Kona had shattered 4 years ago. I think it was 4 or 5 years ago at this point. And then through rigorous training, he regained his striking power. Not only did he regain it, but it became even more powerful than it was. And then we get something pretty interesting, which is backstory for Kowloon. Kowloon grew up in it says he grew up in a very poor village, and he had two choices in that village. He could either kill and steal or fight and win. And he chose to fight. And Muay Thai was a means of survival for him to provide for his brothers and sisters, and he fought and he fought everyone and everything, and that's the only thing that he could do, which is fight and win, and he defeated everyone. And then we get a little bit of Cao Lung's narration where he says, I would have died another nameless warrior if he hadn't saved me. I'm guessing he's talking about his king. Um, yeah, and then we open up with a pretty good looking panel, probably the best panel of the chapter, of Agito taking one of Kalong's strike to the face, but it looks like he's using the formless to divert the strike. A pretty devastating strike to the face, and Galong comes in with the ultimate punch, the ultimate strike, which is God's glow. And Kono actually takes the strike on his hand. He sacrifices his hand to take the strike, which is this is the like I said, Talon is the king of striking, and this is like the best strike in all of the series, we can assume. And so it's a pretty devastating strike. He takes his strike, he sacrifices his arm to take the strike, and then he comes in with a dragon shot directly to Xiao Long's body. That's where the chapter ends. And so with this chapter, I would describe this chapter as being development. Like, this is what this chapter would be, is development, because this is what the chapter is doing. The chapter is just sort of developing. Um and also we get this isn't a dodge thing. There is no way Kalung is dodging it. That we see both of his arms are there. Um So unless just a speculation, he uses his legs to block the dragon shot, because Agato's eyes are pretty wide open. So I'm guessing that maybe he uses his one of his feet to stop the dragon shot, like Roland did when using his knee to stop the dragon shot. Um, Probably, but from what we can tell, it seems like he took this pretty like head on. I'm not sure, but I'm suspecting that maybe Cao Long used like his leg, because again, Muay Thai. I'm guessing that he may or may not have used his legs to block it, because if he didn't, like, I don't think he's going to win this fight. There's no way he's taking that fight and he's that punch and he's recovering from this. I mean, Kono is like 200. I think he's like 203 centimeters tall, and like he's incredibly massive, right? He's incredibly massive, right? I think it says he's 132 kilograms, 132 kilograms, and Callum is 91 kilograms and 201 centimeters. Like, Kellong is 187. There's no freaking way in hell Kellong takes that and recovers from it. He's going to lose. So my thing is Kono sacrificed his arm. Maybe Kellong sacrificed one of his legs to take the dragon shot. Probably, that's what I'm suspecting. Um, or if not, like, this is like, I don't know. Like I said, we just have to wait. That's my biggest speculation, is probably he used one of his legs to block it, or I don't know, maybe he takes it on his hip or something to divert it. But it doesn't seem like he did. It seems like that dragon shot landed pretty cleanly on him. So yeah, we have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see. That's Kengan 282. Um like I said, most of the chapter is just it's an exchange, right? It's just a brief exchange. There's no real tension, there's none of real that, right? The tension comes from Agato's strategy, which is to close and grapple with Xiaolong, and Xiaolong continuously blocking that, Agato continuously using the formulas to divert the blow. That's the back and forth this chapter, which is, again, it's interesting. It's interesting. So far, still Roland versus Agato is still up there, still peak. In my opinion, that fight was freaking amazing. I loved everything about that fight. And this fight is not living up to my expectations so far. So far, top two of this tournament is Agato is on a roll this tournament. It's Agato versus Julius, then Agato versus Roland. Those are those are like my favorite fights this chapter this tournament. Yeah, so that's the chapter. Tell me what you guys think. Well, what you guys thought of this fight. This fight. Did you love the exchange or whatever it is? Comment down below. Let me know. And thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.